There is a maze of identities ready to be found in the depths of each person's soul. We are not fixed things. Instead, we are a mix of decisions, events, and feelings. Welcome to the Stoic Empire, where changing your personality is the most important skill. On this journey of self-discovery, we learn a lot about identity shifting, a practice that changes us and gives us the power to start over from the inside out. Join me as we go on a deep journey of self-exploration, led by the timeless wisdom of Marcus Aurelius and other Stoics. Chapter 1. How we find ourselves. Stoicism is based on the idea that our thoughts, feelings, and decisions shape who we are, not something that stays the same. Imagine you are at the edge of your life and have to figure out who you are. It sounds like a difficult job. Who are you really? What makes you unique? These are the kinds of thoughts that keep going around in our heads, calling us to go on a trip of self-discovery. Marcus Aurelius, the Stoic ruler, gives us a lot of great advice about how to figure out who we are. As he says, the happiness of your life depends upon the quality of your thoughts. This means that our identity is not based on what happens to us outside of ourselves, but on the thoughts we choose to have. When we realize this, we feel free and strong because we know we can control our own circumstances. Part 2. The Stoic Way of Thinking. We need to learn more about the theory of Stoicism before we can fully understand the practice of identity changing. Stoicism is a theory that is based on being strong, moral, and resilient. It teaches us to face the challenges of life with confidence and grace, knowing that real freedom is not in not facing problems, but in how we deal with them. Philosopher Seneca, who was a Stoic, taught us a lot about how problems work. He says, difficulties strengthen the mind, as labor does the body. To put it another way, we grow and change as people when we face trials and get past problems. This tough way of thinking gives us the strength to see problems as chances to grow instead of obstacles to our success. Chapter 3. The good things about being. Stoicism is based on the 4 cardinal values, which are knowledge, courage, temperance, and justice. In order to live a morally sound and peaceful life, these ideals serve as guide principles. Let's look at each of these virtues one by one and find out how important they are to the art of identity changing. Wisdom. The first trait of Stoicism is wisdom, which means being able to figure out what's important in life and act on that knowledge. According to the Stoic philosopher Epictetus, he is a wise man who does not grieve for the things which he has not, but rejoices for those which he has. This knowledge helps us be thankful for the good things we have instead of complaining about the things we don't have. Courage. The second trait of Stoicism is courage, which means being ready to deal with problems with strength and determination. Emperor Marcus Aurelius, who was a Stoic, said, "You have power over your mind, not over outside events. Know this, and you will be strong." We can face our fears and worries head-on because we have a brave mindset and know that real strength comes from within. Temperance. The third value of Stoicism is temperance, which means being able to control yourself and live in moderation in all areas of your life. He wrote, "Wealth is not having many things, but having few wants." Seneca was a Stoic scholar. This principle of temperance teaches us how to find inner peace and happiness without always wanting more money and pleasures on the surface. Justice. Justice is the fourth virtue of Stoicism. It means committing to living in agreement with the universe's natural order and being fair and kind to others. Alexander the Great, a Stoic ruler, said, "Don't waste time arguing about what a good man should be. Become one." This idea of justice tells us to show others how to live a Stoic life by doing good things ourselves and encouraging them to do the same. Chapter 4. The act of changing your identity. We are now ready to start the practice of identity shifting, armed with the knowledge of Stoicism and the values of strength, courage, moderation, and fairness. But what does this really mean? What can we do to change ourselves from the inside out? At its core, identity changing is a way to change yourself, a journey of learning about and growing inside yourself. It starts with a deep look inside ourselves, an honest look at our feelings, thoughts, and beliefs. What kinds of habits do we want to break? What parts of our identities do we want to grow? The practice of negative imagery, which comes from old Stoic philosophy, is a strong way to help people change their identities. This means picturing the worst-case situations and facing our biggest worries and fears head-on. Realizing that life is temporary and that bad things will happen makes us appreciate the good things we already have even more. Mindfulness meditation. Another important part of changing who you are is practicing mindfulness meditation, which helps you become more aware of the present moment and at peace with yourself. Simply putting our attention on the present moment and clearing our minds can help us understand our feelings and thoughts better. This increased awareness gives us the power to make smart decisions and find inner peace even when life is crazy. Finally, identity changing involves daily thought, which is a habit of looking at yourself and thinking about what you're thinking. Every day, take a moment to think about what you did, how you felt, and what you thought. What did go well today? How could you have done it better? Getting into the habit of thinking about yourself can help you understand your behavior patterns and make good changes as a result. Part 5. The way forward as we come to the end of our trip through the maze of Stoicism and the practice of identity shifting. Let us think about the deep knowledge we have gained. Stoicism tells us that happiness and satisfaction don't come from outside sources, but from inside ourselves. It is a way of thinking that encourages us to be strong, good, and resilient, so we can handle life's difficulties with grace and honor. The Stoic ruler, Marcus Aurelius, gives us one last piece of advice to help us move forward. He says, "The happiness of your life depends upon the quality of your thoughts." In other words, who we are is not based on our past or our current situation, but on the thoughts we choose to hold on to. Realizing this gives us strength because it tells us that we can change our lives and start over from the inside out. Let us accept the practice of identity changing with courage and conviction as we take bold steps into the future. Let's free ourselves from the chains of our past selves and accept the limitless possibility that lives inside us. We will become spiritual fighters shaped by the fires of Stoic morality when we go through hard times. This is our plan, our beliefs, and what we leave behind. Here in the Stoic Empire, changing who you are is not just a theory. It's a way of life. Join hands to get past the limits of our past selves and create a new future based on bravery, strength, and most of all, the unbreakable spirit of Stoicism.